Hi people, my name is Mo Fakorede and I am a filmmaker and a film director, and you're watching ConsumerHalla TV. ConsumerHalla TV is everything consumer advocacy, consumer rights, everything that has to do with consumers. On this TV, you'd watch, you'd learn, you'd be educated, and you'd be entertained. Keep watching ConsumerHalla TV.
My name is Olubukola Ozone, a photographer and a social media enthusiast. You're watching ConsumerHalla TV. It's a consumer advocacy TV. If you have a problem, any consumer related problem, just holla at them, just like their name implies, and they're going to get it sorted for you. Keep watching, stay tuned. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, my name is Joba Jalabi. I'm a marketing communications professional. I currently lead marketing at Flash Change, a fintech startup.
Good morning and welcome to News at 8 on ConsumerHalla TV. I am Iremufe Kofoworola. To begin the news, the federal government has commenced training 4,000 tractor operators under a national agricultural mechanization project to boost food security. Agicoms International Trading Limited announced in a statement on Monday that the nationwide program is coordinated by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, National Agricultural Development Fund, and the Industrial Training Fund. The first batch of 250 trainees began a 2-week presidential training course at CSS farms in Nasarawa State. They will learn to operate and maintain modern John Deere equipment under President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, which seeks to transform agriculture and create jobs for Nigerian youth. Agriculture and Food Security Minister Abubakar Kyari stated that the initiative demonstrates strong commitment toward expanding local food production through mechanization. He stressed that deploying 4,000 well-trained operators will effectively turn national farm equipment investment into sustainable harvest while powering modern agricultural growth nationwide. The federal government is working toward ending raw crude oil exports as Nigeria expands domestic refinery capacity to become an African energy hub. Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Rabi Umar, disclosed the plan on Monday at a petroleum conference in Lagos. Umar explained that expanding local refinery capacity means the country should process its entire crude production internally rather than exporting raw commodities. He noted that new private and modular refineries are transforming Nigeria from a crude exporter into a regional processing center, and the targeted output of 3 million barrels daily. The regulatory authority is collaborating with the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission to enforce domestic crude supply obligations. Umar emphasized that maintaining operational balance through enforced supply obligations supports local refiners, eliminating any economic reason to export raw crude oil when adequate domestic refinery capacity exists across the country. In another development, the National Economic Council on Monday approved refinancing the $3.3 billion Project Gazelle facility through a new $4.5 billion arrangement named Project Gazelle 2. Vice President Kashim Shettima chaired the virtual meeting where Finance Minister Taiwo Oyedele presented details of the financial detail. The approval enables the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to settle an outstanding balance of $1.5 billion while unlocking $3 billion in liquidity. Senior Special Assistant Stanley Uwokocha confirmed that Council members supported the move to boost external reserves and fund vital national infrastructure priorities. Finance Minister Oyedele explained that the refinancing secures significantly more favorable commercial terms, reducing pledged crude oil from 90,000 barrels daily to 78,750 barrels. This 12.5% reduction releases extra crude for direct sale, generating valuable independent federal revenue. Nigeria private sector sustained economic growth in July as purchase price inflation slowed to its lowest rate in 5 months. The latest Purchasing Managers Index released by Stanbic IBTC Bank and S&P Global showed the headline index declined to 52.5 from 53.4. Despite recording a slower rate of expansion, business activity remained above the 50 points benchmark for the 6th consecutive month. Strong consumer demand, competitive pricing, and new product offerings drove robust growth in new orders, with agriculture and manufacturing sectors leading total output gains across the national economy. Companies expanded their workforce numbers and raw material inventories to manage operational requirements, though employment growth is slightly. Slower increases in input costs and selling prices provided economic relief to commercial enterprises, while supplier delivery times improved despite minor logistical bottlenecks delaying certain projects across various business sectors. Moving on, the Central Bank of Nigeria is establishing a unified regulatory framework to bring the fast-growing cryptocurrency and virtual assets markets under formal oversight. The shift follows the introduction of the Presidential Executive Order on Virtual Assets Coordination 2026, establishing structured supervision across financial markets. Officials announced at the Nigeria Stablecoin Summit in Lagos that the Central Bank, Revenue Service, and Securities Commissions are collaborating to create a predictable business environment. Task Controller Oni Olushola stated government policy shifted from restriction to regulation to protect consumers and capture economic value from digital assets operations. The new executive order establishes a virtual assets council chaired by the Central Bank of Nigeria to harmonize regulatory enforcement. Olushola emphasized that President Bola Tinubu created a mechanism to resolve fragmented agency oversight, streamlining compliance for virtual assets service providers, cryptocurrency exchanges, and stablecoin operators within the country. World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has urged Nigeria to prioritize effective project execution and asset maintenance over simple budget allocations. Speaking on Monday at the Delta State Economic Summit in Asaba, the former finance minister stressed that public spending alone cannot guarantee sustainable economic development. Okonjo-Iweala criticized the nation's weak maintenance culture, emphasizing that preserving existing infrastructure is just a critical thing as constructing new projects. She identified port efficiency, digital infrastructure, and reduced trade costs as key areas requiring focused implementation and long-term operational management to enhance overall national economic competitiveness. Acknowledging recent macroeconomic development, the trade chief praised federal efforts to stabilize foreign exchange rates and curb inflation. She noted that sustained national economic stability will strengthen state development opportunities, provided local governments match federal reforms with disciplined execution, proper asset preservation, and clear industrial prioritization. Nigeria electricity metering rates improved to 59.69% in April 2026, up from 57.93%. Data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission showed distribution companies added 349,357 meters. Total metered electricity consumers rose from 7.09 million in January to 7.44 million in April. The regulatory face sheet published on Monday revealed that distribution utilities deployed over 227,000 meters during March and April alone, steadily closing the national metering gap. Despite recent installation progresses, more than 5 million active electricity customers remained without prepaid meters as of April 2026. Regulatory authorities and distribution companies continue expanding metering schemes across regional networks to eliminate estimated billing, improve billing transparency, and enhance overall cash collections across the power sector. Now let's turn your attention to this news. Nigeria petrol consumption declined by 52 million liters during the first 6 months of 2026 as elevated retail pump prices moderated fuel demand. Data from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority showed total domestic consumption fell 0.56% to 9.316 billion liters. The moderation in fuel demand followed fuel sector of deregulation and subsidy removal, which drove pump prices significantly higher. Regulatory figures indicated average June retail prices ranged from 1,284 naira per litre in Lagos to 1,393 naira in Maiduguri at filling stations. Monthly figures showed average daily consumption dropped from 60.2 million liters in January to 47.4 million liters in June. Consumption slowed despite the expanded local refinery capacity, indicating that higher retail costs have altered consumer driving habits and reduced overall domestic fuel usage across the country. 7 key members of the OPEC Plus alliance agreed during an online meeting on Sunday to increase oil production targets by 188,000 barrels per day starting in September. Saudi Arabia, Russia, and partner nations issued a joint statement confirming the output adjustments and regional disruptions. Restart Energy analyst George Neon noted that the target increase was widely expected as the cartel completes unwinding voluntary cuts. However, he warned that ongoing shipping constraints in the Strait of Hormuz limits immediate market impact, stating real supply shifts will occur when normal maritime export flows resume through the Gulf. UBS analyst Giovanni Salvuno observed that raising production targets may have limited effect since several member countries face declining capacity and cannot meet quotas. Consequently, physical supply increases may fall short of official targets, leaving the group to manage emerging global supplies once regional shipping channels fully normalize. In another news, First Bank of Nigeria Limited has awarded 10 million naira in business grant to female entrepreneurs through its Spark AGM challenge. The bank announced in Lagos on Sunday that the initiative was organized under its Womenpreneur Pitch a Turn program and First Gem proposition to support female-owned businesses. The competition attracted 356 applications from women operating in agriculture, healthcare, education, and food services. Following an intensive 4-day capacity building workshop, 8 finalists presented business pitches to an independent judging panel to compete for funding, mentorship, and commercial networking opportunities. Onye Obayi, founder of Honeypot Confections Limited, won the overall 5 million naira grant, while the first and second runner-ups received 3 million and 2 million naira respectively. All applicants were integrated into the bank First Gem ecosystem, securing access to advisory support, banking services, and future credit facilities. Telecommunications infrastructure company IHS Nigeria has donated 50 pieces of business support equipment to entrepreneurs with disabilities in Abuja. The intervention was delivered during the project's Empower initiative to active traders within the Karo Majiji disabled community in the Federal Capital Territory to strengthen sustainable community livelihoods. Donated items included sewing machines, commercial freezers, power generators, and hairdressing kits aimed at boosting small business productivity. Sustainability Director Titilope Oguntuga stated during the presentation ceremony that the IHS Nigeria adopted an assets-based approach after a thorough community assessment to deliver lasting economic value for local beneficiaries. Oguntuga noted that the initiative aligns with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals focused on poverty reduction, decent work, and economic equality. The project forms part of a broader corporate trend where technology companies expand social responsibility initiatives beyond core operations to support inclusive development and economic empowerment nationwide. To wrap up news at 8, United States President Donald Trump has ordered oil companies to immediately lower retail petrol prices after crude oil futures plunged significantly. Trump posted his demand on social media on Monday following his decision to suspend a planned military strike on Iran, directing refineries to pass falling costs to consumers. Crude oil benchmark prices dropped to $83.62 per barrel after previously reaching $100 during the Middle East tensions. Trump criticized Chevron Chief Executive Officer Mike Waitz during a television appearance, accusing him of failing to acknowledge administration actions that restored complete access to Venezuela oil. Despite crude oil prices falling over 5%, national average retail petrol prices held at $3.29 per gallon on Monday. Industry analysts noted retail prices lag wholesale market movements because filling stations sell existing high-cost inventory following previous calls by Trump for price investigations. You've just watched this. To stay more updated, follow us across all our social media platforms on Facebook, X, TikTok at ConsumerHalla. We return at 10 for more updates. I am Iremofe Ofoworola. Good morning.
Hey there, do you know in the world today, everyone is a consumer, and as consumers, we all have the right to be heard.
In Nigeria today, as a consumer, you have all right to product information, right to fair pricing, right to return goods, right to product labeling, right to fair dealings, and a lot more.
Well then, have you heard about the new media channel?
ConsumerHalla TV.
ConsumerHallaTV.
ConsumerHalla TV.
At ConsumerHalla TV, our goal is to inform and educate consumers in Nigeria with insightful news alongside development within the fast-paced world of consumers through well-researched, specialized, and analytical content.
Our vision at ConsumerHalla TV is to create an engaging platform that provides right connections for meaningful brands in Nigeria, thus creating a more caring world for consumers where business thrive.
And guess what? Our ConsumerHalla brand is the first consumer complaint resolution portal in Nigeria, powered by a 72-hour feedback mechanism. We offer consumer advocacy, informative talk shows, branding promotions, advertising, and lots more. Connect with us via our YouTube channel at ConsumerHallaTV. Follow us on our Facebook page, ConsumerHallaTV, our Instagram page, ConsumerHallaTV, and do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscription is free. ConsumerHallaTV. At ConsumerHallaTV, you deserve to be heard.
At ConsumerHallaTV, you deserve to be heard.
Consumers, last time we were at a thrifted market, we were at Katangwa market, and what we focused on was thrifted clothing. But today we are doing it a little bit different. Today we are at Odolowu Warehouse Market, located along Oshodi Mile 2 Expressway, and what we are focusing on today is household equipment. Now, with the rising cost of living, many Nigerians are now choosing to buy what we call tokumbo or thrifted household appliances to make their homes more beautiful. So if you're looking to get what we call Tokumbo in Nigeria, Tokumbo household equipment. Come with me, let's go check out what it means, what it costs, and if it is available, and if it is also really affordable in this market. My name is Peace Nwoke, and this is me on Market Today for ConsumerHalla TV. Come with me, guys, let's go explore. Good morning, ma.
Good morning, my dear.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, can you tell me your name?
My name is Amarachi.
Okay, Mrs. Amarachi. All right, please. Can you tell me what you sell in this market?
Okay, by the grace of God, I have so many products here. I sell water bottle, food flasks, air fryer, school bag, lunch bags, and also sell pots, kettles. I have so many things.
All right. Let's talking about what you sell. Let's start from the air fryer. What brand is this? How much do you sell this?
Okay, this is air fryer, and this product is very good. It's from Germany.
Okay.
And this is 4.5 liters. This one goes for 35,000. This is manual. I have smaller size here. Same product. Those one is 3.3 liters digital. This one go for 30,000. I have fine cups. I have fine water bottle that can keep quote unquote water for a long time.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Okay.
They are US products. I have the big size of 10,000, smaller one 6,000. I even have little cups that can keep hot for you too. That one can go for 5,000 naira.
5,000 naira.
Yes, I also have a very big hot flask for women that give birth. I can keep hot water for you for 5 days, even 3 days. Very fine. But those ones go for like 35,000 naira. Yes.
So let's move to this electric.
Okay.
Kettle.
Okay.
How much is this kettle?
This electric kettle goes for 12,000.
12,000 naira.
Yes. I also have electric jugs, but those ones are not here. Those ones go for 10,000.
Okay. So now that we've established the fact that you sell the air fryer for 30, this one is 35,000, this is 30, and
Yes.
this is 12,000.
Yes.
Let's mention the cooler.
Okay.
Let's talk about the cooler, the different sizes, and how you sell according to the sizes.
Okay, for example, I have coolers, small coolers, stainless coolers, plastic coolers, but the one I can provide now is this stainless coolers.
Okay.
Those one now, this is fruit flask cooler, stainless, and goes for 8,000 naira. I have this one. They call this one wine presser.
Okay.
This one go for 12,000 naira.
Okay.
I have Stanley cup, fairly used one that can go for 10,000 naira, different sizes. So
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the most affordable item we can get in your shop today. What is the most affordable item? Let's say the most affordable water bottle we can get in your shop today. What is it? How much does it go for?
we can 5,000 naira.
5,000 naira.
Yes.
Okay. So if we're going for the most expensive, how much should we budget for?
10,000.
10,000 naira. That
Yes.
is for the water bottle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about where you get them from. Where do you get your goods from?
By the grace of God, my goods are imported. We get it from importers.
Okay.
Yeah, when they import and open their container, we go there and buy. Okay. I don't travel, but we get it from there already.
Okay. This market, Odolowo, yes, it's a thrifted market, Tokumbo.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about the newly made equivalent of this. If someone wants to buy this air fryer now, the newly bought one, the store newly made one, yes, the store bought one,
Direct from the company.
direct from the company.
Okay.
How much will this go for?
You can get this one like 45,000 naira. The newly one, direct from the company, you can get this size and this liter for 45,000.
Okay. What about this?
You can get this one maybe for 40,000.
Okay.
I'm just guessing, but I didn't know exact price. You can get it from the company.
Okay. Yes. All right. So let's move to your customers. What are your customers saying? Are they really still buying it? Are they still buying very well in bulk, or it depends on season?
Well, It depends on the season and the quality of things. So by the grace of God, I know I told you that we are selling tokumbos.
Yeah.
Like now, the weather is very hot. Many of them are buying water bottles that can keep something cold for them, that can retain cold. But during the rainy season, some of them will come for water bottle or flowers that can keep hot, that can retain hotness for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But by the special grace of God, many I have customers that can buy. Like now, I'm sending some to Abuja. One of my customers demand that he wants water bottle that he can sell at Abuja. So I'm sending, by the grace of God, my customers, they are coming, they are buying, and my product is very nice and good. Yes, it's tested and approved.
All right. My last question for you. Don't go. Come. Don't go. My last question for you. What do you think influences your pricing rate? Will you say it's dollar rate? Is it import rate? Or do you want it to clear it, from the port?
No, well, for that one, I don't know, but my price influence is based on the importers. Yes, what I get from importers is what influences my prices.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very well.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, dear. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you today?
I'm fine.
All right. So, can you tell me your name?
My name is Uchenna
Okay, Mr. Uchenna.
Kusuji.
Okay, so let's talk about what you sell in this market, Odolowu market. What do you sell?
I sell office chairs and tables, bar chairs, banquet chairs, and so on.
Okay, so let's talk about the chairs based on the types that you've mentioned. Do you sell based on brand?
Not really. I sell based on the country of the country where it comes from and the size.
Okay, so now that we've established that you sell based on size and based on the country it comes from, let's talk about the pricing. How do you sell according to the size and according to the country?
Okay, like the good quality was, because that is where that is country US and Germany, Holland. They're all very strong products, so they're almost same price. They're almost same price.
Talking about Tokumbo, if this chair was not Tokumbo, if it was direct from the company, newly made, how much do you think it will go for?
New brown one of it.
Yes.
Yeah, new brown one of it. This size, new brown one of it should be around 150, 140 if I'm not mistaken.
So you will say that this is relatively more affordable than the brand new one. Okay.
And again, mostly the brand new one always come from China.
Okay.
If you want to get the good quality of brand new one, it's from Turkey. Though I say Tokumbo.
Yes.
But I'm just telling you from
the Tokumbo, they are in good condition.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one last question for you. Your customers, are they really still buying, or do they buy based on season, or they can just they come here and they buy almost every time?
Yeah, this is an office equipment or house equipment as the case may be. So depending when the need arises, you maybe the one you have in your office has problem, or you want to change it, you can come and buy from us. Yeah. We sell retails.
You sell retails.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. So, can you tell me your name?
My name is Mark Tony David.
Okay, Mark Tony David.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, what do you sell in Odolowu warehouse market?
I sell washing machines, microwave, and gas cookers, but I currently have only washing machines.
You currently have washing machine right now. Okay. So, we've established the fact that you sell washing machine, microwave, and gas cookers.
Yes.
Let's talk about the brands that you have. You said you currently have washing machine available. So let's talk about the brand you have, the types of washing machine you have available right now.
I have very, very plenty products. I have LG, I have Samsung, I have Hoover, I have AEG, I have a lot. Literally almost every electronic brand that makes washing machine. We have it currently.
Okay. So, for clarity's sake, is this Tokumbo or newly bought?
These are direct Tokumbo from mostly Germany and European countries.
All right. So now that we've established the fact that these are thrifted, Tokumbo, and then the brands that you sell, let's talk about the prices. Based on the brand, based on the type, in the automatic and manual, let's talk about the prices. How do you sell them?
The price of the machines differ depend on the brand and then the size and whether it's washes, spin and dry. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So LG is like the most expensive machine we have currently. So LG ranges from 280 to 400. Samsung ranges from 220 to 300. Then other machines can get them 250, 180, 190. Those thereabouts.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the most affordable washing machine we can get here right now. What range should we look at?
Okay, if you want to get a washing machine from us currently, you should be aiming at one most affordable that will work perfectly. 170, 180.
That 170, are we talking manual? Are we talking automatic? Are we talking spin and dry?
Fully automatic. And then the brand, wash and spin. Okay, like I can give you AEG, wash, spin and dry. Hoover, wash, spin and dry for 180, 190. While I can give you Candy 6-7 kg for 170,000.
Okay, so talking about these prices, let's not forget the fact that these are direct Tokumbo. Yes. So if we're looking at it as a newly bought washing machine, made from not one that is direct, that is imported. How much would it be? Let's compare the prices from the Tokumbo to the newly bought one, the newly made one.
Okay, things like LG.
Yeah.
LG 9 kg. What we sell LG here, 9 kg, is 300, 290, 320,000. Yeah. But the new one ranges from like 800, 700. Thereabouts. So other brands like Samsung. Samsung also, we sell Samsung here for like 250 on average, but new one still ranges from 600, 700,000.
Wow. So based on what you're saying, we will say that these are relatively cheaper.
Yes, and then they work the same thing. They work good. Yeah, they work better. Okay.
So let's talk about inflation. Let's talk about increase in prices. What will you say remotely affects the price and how you give prices to the washing machine? Will you say it's dollar rate or the import rate or the rate of clearing it at of clearing the container?
I would say that it works simultaneously, because when the dollar rate is high, when we're importing it, the rate at which we import these goods, they are higher also. So we also have to make our own profit, and then we have to increase the price. But for a relatively long time, the price have been stable. Okay. But yeah, the price has been stable, just a little bit increase in price, nothing really.
So when you're talking about relatively long time, how many months are we looking at?
For what exactly?
The prices being stable. How many months ago are we looking at? Is it this?
Throughout, like the prices of the machines for like since last year. Yeah. For LG, that's how we sell it, 300, 290, and then even the new one, they sell it 600, 700. So it's just there about the same.
Okay. So moving away from the prices, let's talk about your customers. What are your customers saying? Based on what you experience here, based on how you sell here, will you say that your customers are still buying, or the way they buy, their buying rate has reduced?
Okay, I will say that the customers that buy from us, they have season. I don't know how to explain it, but they don't always. You cannot say they reduce. Sometimes they will come, and then some days they will be plenty. So we have, because people still come and then patronize us, because mostly our own machines, they are very, very, very good, and what we sell here is tested. Do you get? Yeah. So customers come here. People that don't want to buy the one that they will go and repair, they buy from us directly. Okay. Do you understand? Yeah. So we still have customers, but then some customer, everybody has their choice. Some people their choice depends on their pocket size.
Yes.
So if you cannot afford the new one, you come to buy the tokumbo that is good. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then they buy from us. So it's just there.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Mark Tony David, yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ma.
Good morning, sister.
How are you today?
I'm fine, good.
Okay, so can you tell me your name?
My name is Pat.
All right, Mrs. or Miss?
Mrs.
All right, Mrs. Pat. What do you sell in Odolowu Market?
I sell toys, plates. Just toys and plates, that is what I'm selling. You can see it over there.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about how you sell the different types of plates you have here, soup bowls, soup plates. Yeah, so let's talk about them. How do you sell? How much are they based on the sizes or?
Based on the sizes.
Okay.
I have one of 3,000 there. I have one of 2,500. I have one of 2,000. I have one of 1,500.
Yeah.
The glass cup, I have one of 2,500. I have one of 2,000. That's how you go.
Okay.
So I have deep fryer. The deep fryer is 30,000. So the air fryer, that one is 40. I can give it to 35.
Okay.
So whatever I want to buy.
Yeah.
So if I have frampan, the other things there. So
yeah,
it depends the one you want.
The one you want.
Yes.
All right. So what is the most affordable kitchen appliance that one can get, or kitchen equipment that one can get in your shop today? The most affordable.
The most affordable is one of 2,000, 1,500. It's affordable.
Plates or cups?
Plates.
Okay.
The plate, the flat and the bowl.
And the flat and the bowl.
Yeah.
All right. So if we're talking about the most expensive, which one are we looking at?
For now, it's the one of 3,000. That is the one that's more expensive for now. Then the glass cup, wine glass cup, they are all the same. You can see them, they are all the same price, 2,000.
Okay.
For all go.
Yeah.
So that's the air fryer that we are talking about is, let me say, I can give it to 30, and it's working.
Yeah.
It's tested okay. It's working. The same thing with the deep fryer. We have air fryer, we have deep fryer.
Yes.
So it's different. That the deep fryer, they use it to fry plantain. You will turn your oil inside. There's a sieve inside.
Yes.
So you plug it, you on it, and it will fry. After frying, you just raise it up with the nets and bring it down. So the air fryer is something that you don't want to use oil. They use it for chicken, plantain, yam. Can easily use it for baking. So it's okay. If you don't want to, it's somebody that you don't want to eat anything that have oil.
Yeah.
That is what the air fryer is meant for.
Okay.
So that is it.
Yes. Okay, now that we've established, the prices and the different types of kitchen equipment that you have, let's move to the toys. I'm not going to forget about the toys. I mean, if the adults will not play with the toys, the young ones will play with the toys, yes. All right, so let's talk about the prices. How much do you sell them? How do you sell them?
Okay, the toys, I have the cars for 6,000. I have the doll. I have the doll of 12,000 there. I have one of 8,000. The teddy, I have one of 2,000 there. So I have the small car. Those small car is 500. Okay. We are selling it. You can also see the small car for 2,000 there.
Wow.
So that is it.
To be honest, I had no idea that toys are this, quite expensive. But yes, let's talk about what influences your pricing rate. Will you say it's because of the dollar rate, the import rate, or the cost of clearing it from the port? What influences how you give prices to your goods? How do you give prices?
I give price. I don't give price because of the dollar is high and the shipping.
Yeah.
So all those things are very high.
Yes.
So I do consider. You understand?
Yes.
I can't do it because of that. At least
like the toy. It's not food that someone can eat.
Yes.
It's anybody that wish to buy. You understand?
Yes.
So I less my price. I don't do because it's what others are doing.
Yeah.
I think also that it will be affordable for the parents to buy for their children.
Yes.
Because it's not something that you can eat. It's just something that makes the children happy. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay, so let's move to your customers. Which of these plates, which one do your customers ask for the most? Which one do they really like buying the most?
Well, they like the flats, they like the bowl, the soup bowl, and they like some of them buy this coffee cup with saucer, and the wine cup and the water glass cup. This one is water glass cup. So, like it.
All right. One last question about your customers. Are your customers still buying, really buying, based on the economy? Are they really still buying?
Yes, they are still buying. They are still buying. They are buying the way I handle them. I handle them careful, with love, with happiness and everything. So they like whenever they come across, they will buy. Like one man that just came in now, he like buying from anytime, even though I don't have what you want. Anytime he's passing, he will branch to see if you can see what you need.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for your time,
You're
man.
welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Fine.
All right. Can you tell me your name?
Emmanuel.
All right, Emmanuel. What do you sell in this market?
Log, center log.
Center row.
Full log, foot mat.
Foot mat.
Anything log.
Anything wrong. All right. So let's talk about, we already know you sell anything wrong. Let's talk about the prices. How do you sell them?
Depending, you get 4x6. 4x6, 30,000. You can see the one of 25,000. 5x7, 50,000, 45,000. 6x9 from 80,000 up.
Okay,
7x10,
depending. All right, so these are for the center rugs. Let's talk about the foot mats. So how do you sell the foot mats?
You get foot mat like 3,000 naira, 4,000 naira, even 10,000 naira, even 2,500.
Okay, so what is the most affordable foot mat that we can get to your shop right now?
Like 3,000 naira.
Like 3,000 naira. What about the most expensive that is available for today?
Expensive one. I don't have expensive one now.
You don't have expensive foot mats. Okay, so let's move to the center rug. What is the most affordable center rug we can get to your shop today?
If you need like 5x7, 60,000.
60,000 naira.
Yes.
So if we are talking about the most expensive one we can get in your shop for today, how much should we budget? How much should the consumer budget?
60,000 or 65,000.
I see what you are doing there, but yes, all right. Let's move on to what influences your pricing. How do you give your pricing rate? How do you get your pricing rate? Is it based on the dollar rate, the import rate, or the cost of clearing it from the port? How do you arrive at your prices?
Depending. Like I'm not buying. If I buy, if you float,
yes,
you can call me. You can come and buy. Depending, you can even give us price like 5x7. You can buy it like 30,000 or 35,000 naira, and you can put to our home and sell it.
Okay, so let's move to your customers. Are your customers really still buying, or do they buy based on season?
They are buying every time.
They are buying every time. Okay, so what do they have to say about the price?
The price.
Yes. Are they okay with the price, or are they complaining that the economy is too high, the price?
They are complaining.
They are complaining.
Yes.
They are complaining. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you.
Hello, good morning,
morning.
How are you today?
I'm very fine.
All right, so can you tell me your name?
I'm Victoria.
All right, Mrs. Victoria. What do you sell in this warehouse market?
I sell phones.
Phones?
Yeah.
Okay. So what brand of phone do you sell?
I sell Tokumbo phones. Yeah, we will sell brand new.
Okay.
Those ones are Korea type and US type.
Okay.
That is the used ones.
Okay.
It's US. Then the Korea is new ones.
Okay. The Tokumbo one is US and the new one is the Korea.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the prices based on the Korea and based on the Tokumbo. How do you sell?
Like the Tokumbo type, I sell like 5x6. I sold it at 250. There's 10 inches. There's 8 inches. There's 12 inches. There's many inches.
Yeah.
16. Their prices are different. Like 16 inches, I can sell it at a rate of 250 or 300. But the 10 inches of it, I sold it at 200. So that is the rate of it. Like the Korea type, the 12 inches, I sold that one at a rate of 150. The 10 inches, that one is 130, 140. That's how we sold them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, now that we've established the price, let's talk about how you get to your pricing rate. What influences your pricing? Is it dollar rate? Is it import rate? Or even the rate of clearing it at the port? What influences your pricing?
Really, the rate of clearing it in the port is the one that influences us. Because before it was not like that.
Yes.
But as of now, things are very high. We cannot sell them. See us, when we came here, we are sitting down.
Yeah.
Before it was not like that. I may sell 10 or 15 a day. But now before you sell one, because of the price rate.
Yeah.
So it's really bothering us. We don't know how to do it. And people are complaining, there's no money. So we are just stranded because we don't know what to do. But we are begging God to help us so that things will be okay for us. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what is the most affordable bed one can get in your shop today?
The most affordable, because people are complaining they don't have money.
Yeah.
They are buying the Korea type.
Yeah.
Because it's cheap. It's not expensive like this US. Because the US will come in a container and the clearance is the problem. So they buy the Korea more than the US. And before it was the US we have been selling and it was going. The market was really going. It's as of now, it's God who will help us. Yeah.
I mean, talking about price stability, would you say that the prices of this foam that you sell, these mattresses, you say they have been stable for the past 2-3 months?
No, they are not stable at all. They are not. They are increasing every day. At the rate of clearance, they are increasing. And most of the people over there, they have stopped sending things because of the clearance in our country. So they have stopped it. So the little we have, it has to go up. The price will be up.
Yeah.
That is why people, when you just tell a person, this thing is 200 or 250, say, no, I cannot buy. So that is the problem we have.
So what you're saying now is that your customers, they are actually complaining about the price rate.
Seriously, they are complaining about the price rate.
So the most affordable we can get in your shop now is the Korean brand, and it goes for one.
At least it goes for like 10 inches goes for 130. Then the 12 inches 150. We have 16 inches. That one is 180.
Okay.
That is what they can afford. The US that is for 6x6 is 350.
Wow.
For the 12 inches of it. The 10 inches is 280. Get it to 300.
Yeah.
That is what we are selling.
Yeah.
So that is how.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. All right, can you tell me your name?
My name is Doris.
Doris. Mrs. Doris.
Yes.
All right. So what do you sell in this market?
Okay, here is Malaysia Warehouse.
Okay.
Near Odolowu bus stop, where they offload things, import things from outside, they will offload here. Okay, we do sell furniture chairs, office tables. You can see around banquet chairs like church, cabinets for offices, and dining tables, and barber salon chairs for people that are doing barber salon.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, now I mean that's a lot to unpack there. So let's start. The pricing. Okay. Let's start from let's go with the chairs.
Okay, the chairs.
Yes. How much do you sell them for?
The chairs, we have different type of chairs. Depending, like the one the lady sat there now, that one is 150. We have the one of 120, depending on the sizes, and all of them has a categories. Some 60, some 80, depending on the sizes.
So let's talk about the cushion too.
Okay, the cushion.
Yeah.
The cushion goes for 800, depending, like the one we are sitting here is 600. While the one at the back is 800. While the one at the leather one is 1.2 million.
1.2 million.
Yep.
All right. So you said you have chairs for barbers.
Yes, we have barbing salon chairs. We have washing basin people used to buy. All of us are here. All of them are here.
Okay, so how much do they go for?
Okay, like a washing basin, the one we used to wash hair, that one is 400. While barbing salon chair, it has different categories. There's the one of 300, there's one of 250, there's one of 120, depending. It has big and bigger and smaller.
Small size.
Yes.
All right, moving away from the chairs, let's talk about the tables.
Okay, the office tables.
Yes.
Yes, we'll have the one in carton they have not used. They brought it from outside. That one is new.
Okay.
So we have the rate of the big one with extension, long extension. Their offices are using it today. We'll sell that one 600. Why we'll have that one is 1.6 mm. Then why the other one is 1.4 with extension. That one goes with 400 or 350 depending on the size. And we'll have 1.2 also. That one is at the rate of 250. Then we'll have ordinary ones like 1.6 here.
Yeah.
That one is 150. Then this one is 3 feet. Then we'll have that one. That one is 60,000. We'll have 4 feet there also. That one is 120 also.
Okay.
There.
All right, judging by what you sell, let's talk about the most affordable and the most expensive item one can get in your shop today. What is the most affordable item one can get in your shop today, and what is the most expensive item one can budget to get in your shop today?
Furniture chairs is most expensive in this shop.
Yeah.
Then office table, depending on the sizes, because we have different categories. We have like this one now. This one is affordable, 150, depending on the size of the office, and customers will make their choice. Because when they will come, he will look at the sizes and the space of the office where the thing can fit in. If there is no space there, then he will now go for the cheaper one.
Okay, so still talking about the prices, how do you determine your pricing rate? Is it based on the dollar rate or the import rate or even the clearance rate?
Will depend on the import rate, because when you use dollar and buy the market, when you import it here now, after clearing, then you add the expenses, because everything is not like today. If they want to clear the container now, they will tell you, okay, 15 million. Before you know it, you spend more than 15 million. So you now add it to the goods and start selling it. So I can't tell you, okay, today is now, okay, it will cost 15 million today. Maybe tomorrow night it will add another 1 million. That is 16 million. So it's not a specific side, depending on and sometimes the agent will tell you it will come out today, it will come out next tomorrow. It's a lie. It will not come out that day. Till the day you see the container, that is the day you will come and see it.
So what do your customers say about this? Also, do your customers, are they still buying right now, or they buy based on season?
Yeah, like I said, now customers always, if they need something, they will come. People will bring them to the warehouse. They will come and see in the showroom. And once you come, like one man that left here now, he said when the guy was bringing him to this place, he was quarreling with the guy. But when he came in, he saw whatever he needed, he see it here. So he now pick it up and buy the extra and go. So it's depending on the customers, because once you have something in mind, and you ask, okay, this one can fit me in the office. And since he see it here, he will purchase it immediately. Because warehouse something is that when you price something like this thing my brother is holding hand now, when you price it now and go, Another person might come and buy it, and you will not see it again. Like this table now, this is a marble. You can't see it now. It's remaining. It's more than 6 now, but if customer that purchase this will come back again, you will see it again.
Wow. All right, ma. So where do you get your goods from? Where do you get your supplies from?
We get from US, we get from UK, we get from Germany, all part of the country.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
As you can see now, this one they are offloading now.
Yes.
2 containers. One is outside, one is inside. Is Australia. That one is Australia. We can get from Australia.
So which
too.
brand do your customers ask for the most? The country.
Oh, you know, they like US now. They like US and UK also.
Yeah.
You know, some people that used to come to the warehouse, you know, what we do say here is Tokumbo.
Yeah.
So, and customers need something. You know, we Nigerians, we like need something. This one is Tokumbo. This. I want a new one. I want this. I want that. So they always like need something.
Yeah. So would you say that your prices are relatively more affordable than brand new ones?
Of course, sure. If you go for brand new one, for like this Ofos right now, it will tell you how much they have. The one they call Royal Chairs. They have Egypt. They have Egypt. They have Turkey. They have this thing again. So many. That one it costs almost 5 million, depending on 6 million. That is a Royal Chair. We don't have it here.
Yes.
So, but this one is affordable because this one own prices. So when you come to the market, you know your budget.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay. And we have banquet chairs for churches. We do sell that one.
Oh, okay.
Those ones, Those one is out there. That one is depending on the size. So the one church you use, we do sell it. We have cabinets for office. We have lasting chairs they are using for sit-outs.
Yeah.
Because of the heat and all that.
All right.
We have it.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma.
What's the name?
Peace. Consumers, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Now, one thing is clear, Nigerians value affordability. But one thing we've also realized is that at Odolowo Warehouse Market, even in a Tokubo market, Nigerians have preferences. It is now over, but until the next episode, you can catch us on ConsumerHallaTV on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. My name is Uwake Peace, and until the next episode, see you later.
a beautiful Monday morning, the first working day in the month of August. Happy New Month and welcome to your favorite breakfast show on your consumer-centric TV channel, ConsumerHalla TV. Good morning, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. And Perspective is a conversation where we discuss all pressing and burning issues making the round. It is the program where we examine the issues shaping the world through informed analysis and expert insight. I am Hayo Mikole, aka It's so good to be back again here. Month of August will be our best month of joy, happiness and fruitfulness. Now let's move into it straight up. The Middle East is once again at the center of global attention. Recent military exchanges involving the United States and Iran, growing regional tensions, concerns over maritime security, and renewed diplomatic efforts which have heightened the fears that the conflict could expand beyond its current scope. For a country like Nigeria, the implications go far beyond foreign headlines. Rising geopolitical tensions can affect crude oil prices, inflation, shipping costs, food prices, investment, and even the national security. So this morning we ask, can diplomacy still prevent a wider regional war? Or is the international community running out of options? Joining us to examine this development is our guest, a respected global affairs analyst, Ejike Okpa. Good morning, Mr. Ejike Okpa. It's so good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Happy New Month.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's 3 o'clock Dallas time, 9 o'clock your time.
All right, it's so good to have you, and Happy New Month to you, Mr. Ejike.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now let's begin the conversation about the crisis happening in the Middle East, because this issue is very, very tricky, and the issue that is happening right there has many layers. But if you are going to look at the end of history, it all started, the major escalation started on the 7th of October 2023. So now, to understand the root of this issue, to begin, help us understand the current situation and what events have brought the Middle East to this critical point.
Well, if you want to roll back the tape and look at, the Middle East crisis, I don't think, anybody can, put a finger on the exact cause of what is going on. Jesus was born and died over there for the believers. He rose 3 days after and went to heaven, and then Muhammad on the other side in Saudi Arabia. So, but then, those two religious figures have become flashpoints, for all kinds of stuff. The Muslims, the Christians, they make pilgrimage to Israel, to see the Holy Land, and then, the people go to Saudi Arabia, run around the stone, and Muslims too. But the point is that then Israel, got created in 1948, after, what happened with, Nazi and the World War II. And then that just kind of added more salt to the injury, or added more fuel to the fire. And then since 1948 to date, the tension between, the Palestinians, the Israelis, the Lebanese, the Iranians, 40 people in Lebanon, hasn't died today, hasn't died. So this idea of love that never hasn't grown amongst them. So with Iran, supporting the people, their support, because they said they want to eliminate Israel. One of the Israeli state and the Israeli people have to be eliminated. That hasn't settled with the Israelis. That's why, America that was responsible in creating Israel, and then it becomes U.S. I would say most reliable or dependable ally. Gets American support, and then so the Iranians have just taken it upon themselves to be the arbiter of what happens in that part of the world, because and then even their geographical location, the state of Tammuz, because the state of Tammuz sort of like just into their border space, making it impossible for people to pass without the approval of Iran or the support of Iran. Create this tension with their neighboring countries. that need to use that to move their oil. So, all of that, sentiment of, hate and hatred and, not loving thy neighbor, not finding grounds to live peacefully is what has created, this tension. And when a tension like that exists, what do you have? You have a siege mentality. People are not happy. It's like you go to sleep with one eye open and, always watching who is going to attack you. Are you going to attack somebody? And then of course, when something happens in one part of the world, it's going to grow its own, tentacles and start affect. You got to get sympathies. There's nothing. Even when Jesus was being crucified, there are people who loved it and there are people who hated it. So there's nothing. There are no saints here, just stains. And then it's harder to convince people that evil is evil because some people look at it differently. You could see what is going on in Nigeria, the killings of Christians and Muslims and the abuse by the political people. And which some people think is okay. Some people say, oh, I'll give him time or I'll give them time. So that is the whole thing. And so the Middle Eastern thing, I don't think I have a magic wand. I don't think anybody does. Every president, every world leader they stepped up thinking that they have the solution, and then we get a temporary, feeling and excitement. And at the end of the day, we still go back to fight each other. And for me, as a person, I don't like drama. I don't like saga. I don't like to see blood. I don't like to see people suffer. So when things like that happen, I just shake my head and said, if God, our God that gave life to every living thing on earth, is He not watching this? You know, or is it just like, hey, this is all your problem, you deal with it, when you die and come back here, decide on the judgment. So, I always say, like you say in America, more power to you. It's not happening in my neighborhood. I'm not waking up and thinking, oh my God, there's a bomb is going to land on my street because somebody don't like me from Iran or from anywhere where those people are. So America is doing what America does, good or bad or indifferent. America has got to step up. Just imagine if we don't have a country like America. The world will be more chaotic. And as much as America wants to say, hey, let's all live, let's all get along, it can't force people to love you. It's all human nature. Just look at even the tribal tension that exists in Nigeria. And these are people that look like you just because they have a level of being from this tribe or being this really, having this religious identity. Look at what it has cost. Even within families, when you have polygamous families or people from the same mother and father, they still, so that's just what nature is. But for me as a person, I like to give my personal example when I talk about stuff like this. I don't like a fight. I walk away. I just say, you know what, you all can have it. So I can have a peace of mind and I can have my blood pressure go the way it wants to go. But some people just love the fight. They just love the agitation. So I don't know. We'll see what happens as the days go forward. Looking backwards doesn't do anything. History is as good as you can make use of it in order to look forward. But if history is going to make you look backwards and make you miserable, who cares about that? I don't care. I don't cry because Jesus was crucified. I wasn't there. I don't care the story, all this other stuff. I don't care about slavery. They did it to us. I don't care about colonization. They did it to us. I'm looking at what are we doing to ourselves today. If you're crying that white people came in and did something to you, what are you doing to yourself today as black people, as Nigerians, as Igbos, Yoruba, Shikiri, whatever? That's what I want to see. Not because, oh, white people came here and did it to us. Tell me what you're doing to yourself. That's to change what you think happens to you. That is my story, and that's how I would like to look at life.
All right, interesting. And thank you for taking us back to where and how it started in the 90s. And just like you said, that you do not love saga, you do not love fight, you do not love drama, you do not love blood. And a lot of people do not subscribe to that too. And for this to end, we have to tackle the issue as it is present right now. We know that the United States and Iran remain central to this development. And we know that the US and Iran just had military exchanges not quite long. And we know that the other countries, in this region are tensed currently as we speak, and the ships in this area too are not safe. So how significant is the current level of tension compared with previous confrontations?
Well, I mean, it's plus and minus. It's plus and minus. Every pain has its own feelings. Some people react differently. Some people take it differently. So I don't know. I am just as human as you and everybody else. How much information we have and how we interpret that information also comes with a lot of things: education, exposure, objectivity, fairness, and stuff. But we look at things happening to us. If it's happening to our family member, how do we take it when it's happening to somebody who is not a family member? When it's come to somebody who is so far removed from us, that's just how the human being is programmed. But my point is, when certain things happen here, you become resilient. You wanna self-preserve, because self-preservation is the first order of business. Even when you're in an airplane, what do they tell you if that things has to go up, bad? Secure yourself before you secure the child. So that is just human nature. If you're not strong enough to secure yourself, how are you going to be helpful to somebody? So the economic challenges and pressure is going to be the same thing. There was never a period in the history of human beings that is documented as we have 100 years of nothing going on. It's always been there. You just have to again put up your guards, be suspicious, look at everybody, and because what are they coming to do to you? Even in marriages, you know what I mean, say for better, for worse, and everybody's happy with. When all the guests go home, then the husband and wife have to deal with their own issues. So sometimes those issues make them want to go reach out to somebody else and start talking about themselves. And then anytime you inject third party into a two-party issues, it grows exponentially, and at that time it's like the cat is out of the bag. What are you gonna do? So apply restraint is an aspect of life most people don't know how to do. But you remember, somebody's gonna want to see you fighting, and they want to sell you weapons. Say, hey, you don't have to put up with this stuff. You gotta fight. And then you said, okay, fine, I'm going to fight, but then you don't have the weapon. I will sell you the weapons. So have you ever looked at it? You see, most poor people, poor nations spend money fighting each other because somebody's exploiting them. Somebody's taking advantage of them. That's when you come and say, I don't need this. I don't want this. But let's put a stop to it. Because, every leadership is supposed to work towards saving life. But then some people don't want to save life. They want life to be. They want people to die.
JK, absolutely, this is a whole lot. We know that the ceasefire in one place does not stop attacking another. And if we see the situation of things, we can see that the trust rate between both the US and Iraq is very, very low. But there are several regional actors, including Israel, the Gulf states, and proxy groups, are involved in different ways too as well. So how do these competing interests complicate the diplomatic solutions to this pressing issue?
Diplomatic solution, you cannot be diplomatic with yourself. You gotta be diplomatic with somebody else. No fight exists with one person alone. So some people have that mental fight and they commit suicide. But there's always, like I said earlier, a two-party conflict can become multi-party conflict. It goes from bilateral to multilateral because they are actors. There are going to be people that want to infiltrate, and there are going to be people that want to tell you don't have to do this. There's an ego factor when you're dealing with international relations. And that ego factor sometimes makes people want to do some crazy stuff. You know, America, yes, we can see our president, we can see him get behind the microphone and in front of the camera and say the things they say. But when it comes to this other country, for instance, let me just limit my example to Iran. When it comes to Iran, who is speaking for Iran? How many times have people seen, you know, the so-called supreme leader talk about he's in hiding? So you have these many factions. Iran is one of the most fragmented country in the world. Even though they step on the walls, they can say, "Oh, they are Persians, they are smarter people than everybody." I've always shaken my head. Just like when Nigerians say they are smart people, but you're not running a smart country. Okay, Iranians, if you say you are smart, how come your country is the worst to run country in the world? So it has nothing to do with smartness. What you want to talk about reasonableness. You know, if you go into negotiation and you insist that everything you want is what you're going to get, then you're not a negotiator. You're just somebody who is ready to fight, and it don't matter whether you have been trampled, you have been stepped upon, you're still going to fight. Just like somebody on the floor and they're still screaming and scratching. Oh, we're going to get you, we're going to do it. So I'm always about the reasonableness of your end and about being very cognizant of your resources and your ability to stand up and be dignified. Iran, Iranians are not dignified. You know who speaks on their behalf. And they get this, you know, what I call, you know, lousy two by four opinion that they ask. The Persians, they've been around. And I always say, anybody who says that, you know, just like even when the Jews come in and say they are the chosen ones. And I said, God didn't create any human being to be unchosen. So I fight those sort of expressions and I say it louder. I say, I'm a chosen child of God. I don't even go through all this other through Jesus Christ, our Lord, or Muhammad. I know, I go straight to God. So when people have come up with, you know, phrases to talk about how, you know, they are better or they're superior, I don't subscribe to it. You know, again, back to the gist of this conversation is that, you know, diplomacy works when two people want to take advantage of it. But if it doesn't exist. You cannot be diplomatic with yourself only. You gotta be diplomatic with somebody else. Just like again, in a family unit, you and your wife, you and your husband and your children, you know, that's a core unit. You know, well, how are you dealing with them? You know, because oftentimes there are tensions in those relationships. And then how do you manage it to keep everybody looking forward, to keep everybody feeling sense of belonging, and then we making the best effort. Remember, none of us is going to be 1,000 years old. You know what we do, what we have done on earth can be studied for that length of time. Just like when people talk about Jesus died 2,000 years ago. I mean, Jesus, I heard that when I was a child. I'm way into my 50s and 60s, and I'm seeing people actually saying 2,000 years he died. I said, can it be 2020? It's always stuck with that 2000. Again, these are things, narratives people have conjured to make people feel a certain way. I said, I don't care about those things. I care about the human being that has a definite time on earth, you know, and that definite time comes at a time and we are going to exit. But the thing is, what have we done with the time God has given us? Have we spent all that time fighting each other, being miserable, being wicked, trying to undermine everybody? And when in time you're doing it, you're also undermining yourself. Remember, anybody who is wicked, who wants to kill you, is already killing themselves because they're planning it. It's their mind. It's their mind is twisted. And then they now attack their victim, and then they feel that, oh yeah, we're doing it. But they are the one that have already victimized themselves before they victimize somebody else. So, you know, I love to have this conversation more like a beer parlor chant, but my point is I'm very territorial. I defend my territory. I guard myself. I've said this on your show many times. If my neighbor's house is on fire, I stand between the boundary of my house and their wife. Make sure I have water hose to put the fire out if it's going to extend to my side. You know, I don't fight for somebody who don't want to fight for themselves. I don't cry because somebody's crying. Because sometimes you do it, you know, and the person begins to take advantage of your emotional support, and then all of a sudden you get drawn into a drama you are not prepared to deal with. So I self-preserve. I am self-centered, but I'm not selfish. I try to have a sense of reasonableness in my conduct, but I am not going to be You know, no matter how people love you, when somebody's being buried, nobody jumps in that grave and say, "Cover me with them." You know, you cry and you step aside. To, you know, have that sense from the family to the community to this region, you know, to the country. Protect yourself, defend your territory, and do it with honor, and at the same time, do it with a sense of reasonableness.
That's a very interesting one, and I believe with you about what you said, that diplomacy works when two parties want to take advantage of it. Now, looking at the situation of things as we speak right now, a lot of analysts have made some conversations into the air, and many of these analysts said that, and they also gave their warning, because they said one miscalculation could trigger a broader conflict. So do you agree to this, and how real is that risk? What's your take about this?
Well, I mean, it's like when you drop a bomb, you know, it hits the spot and then it spreads. So yes, everybody around Iran, and you know, just watch it, and they've been watching for since what is that name? Israel got created in 1948. You can do that math. That's 78 years ago. So they have constantly lived with that sense of sin. And then, of course, if you don't, like I say, it's a fire thing. If you don't contain the fire at the spot, at the spot where it's happening, you're going to spread. So yes, the analyst and whomever is doing this, you don't. It's not a rocket science something. It is, yes. Can we contain this? But again, there are people who just want to urge you to keep fighting. Again, I give the person in a relationship of a man and a woman. When things are going on in your family, and then you run to your in-laws, on both sides, or you run to your pastor and say, "Pray for me," tell me. All of a sudden, you have just exposed what is going on. I tell my wife anytime, if we have any issues and both of us cannot resolve it, then we go our separate ways. I am not the person that goes to the pastor, the pope, the bishop, or anybody to tell them about my situation. I learned this from childhood. I don't go to a pastor. I don't want a spiritual leader. I contain my fire. And I've been successful containing my fire because nobody can come into my home. My home is my country. Nobody can come into my home and dictate to me how I can deal with my wife or my children. I have that individual responsibility, and I hold it there. Not even my own parents, not even my own friends. I don't discuss certain things, because I want to protect my integrity. And the way you protect your integrity is to be credible and be honest about your situation and engage the source of your pain. If the source of your pain is your wife, or you say, "No, on this is what is going on. What do you think we need to do?" If they say, "Let's go talk to a pastor," I say, "I don't want to talk to a pastor. The pastor is not here for me. Nobody prays better than me." Let me just put that as a diversion. Nobody. I don't believe in these men of God or women of God. I can pray. I have my brain works. I communicate straight to God. So that's how I take my life. And how I take my life is, if I were to be president or governor, that's what I'm going to deal with. I want to confront what is confronting me and not run to a third party to say, "Oh, please help me do this." No, maybe a child can do it, but as an adult, you claim and you own your responsibility, and you resolve to get an end to it. And that's when you have peace. When you are able to solve your problems, given what you're going to be the first person to, be at the blunt of a failure of a success. And so nations haven't done it because there are third parties. There are people who want to sell you something. I mean, look at how much money Iranians have been spending to do whatever they are doing. But then you look at the life of Iranians and say, is it worth it? Even Israel, but again, of course, Israel is a wealthy nation because of the support they get from America. And why they are doing that? They're developing technologies. What technology has anybody bought from Iran? What? Because they have devoted their time just to be defensive and offensive, to attack anybody who don't agree with what it is they are thinking. So that is my take. Again, I'm happy to live where I live because I don't I am not watching the sky to see whether a drone is coming in to hit my building or somebody's going to bomb my car. The Iranians, you don't see their supreme leader because he cannot afford to be on a communication gadget because he can be traced and then they're going to bomb it, just like they took out the supreme leader within hours of this conflict starting. I think they're still very angry about it. But now they are scrambling, they behave like a wounded lion. And you know what wounded lions do? They're going to scream and scratch and growl and want to see who they're going to fight.
Interesting. We know the Middle East is fighting again, and this time around it's not just a fight, but the fight is getting bigger. And it's of no news that oil prices often react immediately to instability in the Middle East. So, Mr. Ejike, how could a prolonged crisis affect the global economy? And is there any other logical way that can be deployed so that the oil prices will not react as these tensions escalate more and more? Though we pray that it shouldn't escalate.
Well, I mean, prayers have its own place, but what has prayer got us? We prayed during slavery, we prayed during colonization, we prayed during presidents abusing their country war. Has anything changed? No. So again, it's a human factor. You got to get up. If somebody slaps you, don't turn the other cheek, punch them. Don't be meek. They may tell them that you inherit the earth, but God favors the bold. You gotta be bold, and when you are bold, you gotta recognize your strength and stand up for yourself. So the oil thing. I don't know whether you've read a book called "Why We Hate Oil Companies." If you read that book, oil companies have become this sort of corporate giants. Any little thing, they're just gonna use it as reason to jack your prices. It's just the nature of the business, and they take advantage of it. If 20% of the world oil supply comes over there, how come it has such a global impact? 20%. So can we deal with the other 80%? No, we can't, because everybody's going to see and seek ways to exploit a situation, and then they're going to use it. Say, oh wow, this is boom. You go to the pump, and then you got 20 cents on the dollar for more, or whatever it is in naira. So again, I'm just about the Middle East. Iran is the poorest of all the countries in that region. That have oil. Look at what the Saudi have done with their money. The Kuwaitis, the Bahrainians, the Omanis, the UAE people. They have done well, but look, so Iran is somehow angry. They are jealous because they haven't focused on themselves. They have focused on attacking America. They're focused on saying, "Oh, we're gonna, debt to America, and then we're gonna support Hezbollah and Hamas." These people are not contiguous to you, but somehow you have stretched your own imagination that you are the defender and the supporter of those people, fighting Israel. And I'm saying they've been doing this since 1947, something years. At what point, like my mom always said, how many times will something happen to you before you wisen up? So the world economy, since if it's like that, then again you go back to being self-preserving. You go back to have shock absorbers, so that what other people are doing don't impact you such that you are going to lose control of your own country. Again, look at my analogy about the fire across my house at my neighbor's house. What should I do first? Go help my neighbor put it out, or go and defend my own house? As I said, I am territorial. I use my personal ways to say, if I was in leadership, that's what I would do. I would defend the area that I have responsibility and jurisdiction over. I don't care about everything else. I can participate in the conversation to see what people are thinking and what they want to do. But my main focus will be to defend my territory. That's what they call territorial integrity. And yes, we live in a global village, but we still have individual countries. And the most important responsibility are individual countries, not the global village. Again, I said this to you guys one time. My mom's only son, and my mom said the village didn't get her pregnant, and the village is not going to raise her child. She took responsibility. I'm about responsibility. I'm about what it is that I need to do for me to have a sense of living that makes me feel the way I do, as opposed to what are we gonna do. What you do is important because if the I is not strong, the we doesn't really matter. So that's why you focus on strengthening your base. And if everybody around you strengthens their base, then you have something to protect. But if you are just all over the place, oh, it's the global thing, let's go to UN, let's go this and that. No. Secure the plate before you clamor for the pan. That's just me. Territorial, self-centered, self-preserving, but I'm not selfish. You can't take anything from me that I don't want to give you. You come into my home to try to dictate to me and my wife, I'm going to fight you. Even my in-laws, I make that rule: don't come here and inject yourself into the way I live my home. And I take that very very seriously, and it's my own personal constitution. You don't come into my home and dictate. And so, that's what nations do. You defend your territory. You defend in America, we have a law we call stand your ground. Somebody try to take you down, you stand your ground and you fight.
That's great. Thank you, Mr. Ejekiopa, for that. Now moving on, we know that this escalation in the Middle East affects Nigeria a whole lot, and it affects us in several ways. Talking about the oil prices, it affects us in terms of investment, security, food inflation, because Nigeria depends heavily on oil exports, but also imports the refined petroleum products. So now, could this conflict become both an economic opportunity and a challenge for our country, Nigeria?
Of course, Nigeria is Nigeria is not properly structured. Nigerian leadership is more about transaction and about transformation. Nigeria don't import crude. So if what is it? Oil started being produced in Nigeria in the 50s. So what is that? 79, 79 years. No, 40, 69 years or something. That oil been produced in Nigeria. And then you ask yourself, how come Nigeria don't have local refineries to refine the amount of oil Nigeria needs? The excess you don't need, you sell. So that is a way you could have shock absorbed your situation and prevented anything happening outside of your territory to affect your people. But Nigerian leaders don't think that way. Nigerian leaders are not structural, strategic thinkers. They just, just like now, I'm sure they are blaming the insecurity in the country because of something that has nothing to do with Nigeria. Just because the leadership is lousy. They're looking for things to justify how lousy they are in what they are doing to Nigerians. So let's look at oil. Oil is a commodity. So you produce how many barrels a day? Okay, let's say Nigeria produces 2 million barrels a day, which is they haven't done in more than 10 years or something. Okay, so you ask the question, how many barrels of those do you need to refine to satisfy the domestic need? You don't need to refine all 2 million barrels a day. You probably need to refine, half a million barrels a day. So if that 500,000 barrels are going to Nigeria, either government-owned refinery or refinery that are privately owned, but you're subsidizing the cost of the crude to them, then the excess you have of 1.5, it goes to the open market. You sell it at the market at the price that is good for you. So you would have, if you take up this sort of attitude, you would have shock absorbed and protected the Nigerian consumers from any serious issues. But if Nigeria was like India or China, where they import a lot in order for them to satisfy their domestic need, that's an issue. In America, we are a net exporter. So occasionally, yes, we have shocks in price go up and down, but it's not like where it's shaking things up. Of course, Americans are known to complain, when there's a little penny or up on what they think they should be paying. But in the case of Nigeria, Nigeria shouldn't be worried. Nigeria should, if the refineries, when I was in Nigeria, there were three refineries, were the Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna, and Nigeria was doing well. We weren't importing, and then we weren't importing any refined crude because again, back then you look at how many cars were in Nigeria, so the domestic need wasn't much. But now you have many cars, but you have added Dangote. But Dangote doesn't own the crude. Dangote is a private enterprise. So he has to buy the crude just like everybody else. And when he buys it at just like everybody else, there's no pass-through benefits to Nigerians, except if the government were to say, okay, Mr. Dangote, instead of selling this crude at $80 per barrel, we're going to sell it to you at 70. So that's 10%, that $10 difference is a benefit for Nigerians, or whatever that is. You don't have to really give them cash. You just lower the price you would have gotten if you were to sell it on the open market. That's how subsidies, that's how you can deal with subsidies. But what Nigeria has done was to give cash subsidy. And when you start to deal with cash, you expose yourself to a whole lot of corruption, a whole lot of kickbacks. And, of course, Nigerians love those money under the table kind of deals because it's cash. It's, cash is hard to trace. So, back to your question is, how do you protect a country like Nigeria? My interest is in Nigeria because, I have ancestry and roots there, I have friends and family. I don't live in Nigeria. I haven't lived in 40 years and I'm not coming back there. But, what happens there concerns me because, that's my roots. That's my family. Those are my people. So I'm always like, what can they do differently in order to help themselves? But you can't help yourself if you're not even thinking strategically and structurally in order to do what's supposed to make a difference for the life of your people. Instead, it's like, oh, our crude oil, what is going on in the Middle East? What is in the Middle East is not affecting you. You can import in any crude from the Middle East. You're not importing any crude from anywhere. So you focus on how do you take advantage of the natural resources you have, and it's still a shame that 200 and something million people, which is what Nigeria is, and then you're producing less than 2 million barrels a day and you're still oil dependent. Oil brings in more money, to Nigeria than any other sector. It shouldn't be. If you take out the oil revenue of Nigeria and look at what Nigerians contribute to survive as a nation, it's less than $12 billion a year. Because the total budget of Nigerian government is 70% oil. So revenue-wise, if you take out that oil, then what is left is the other revenue the government generates from other activities. It shouldn't be. By now, oil should have been like less than 10%. The other activities, other revenue sources would have overshadowed oil, so we don't even have to be talking about it. It's just because oil as a natural resources, which nobody did anything, is easy for them to make money out of it. You look at all the presidents. Obasanjo never had an oil minister. He did that. He managed it by himself. Then he skipped to Jonathan, what is his name? Yaradua and Jonathan. Jonathan had that, and then he was lousy because Zani, did what Zani is, even though the court has said, oh, she didn't make any money. We all know better. And then you come to Tinubu. Tinubu don't have an oil minister because he wants to run it himself. And the Nigerian National Assembly has allowed it because if the Nigerian National Assembly is a responsive assembly, they say, Mr. President, you should have appointed any person. You should have one because that's part of the constitutional requirement. But no, they keep quiet, and the presidents do whatever it is they do. So the oil prices in Nigeria shouldn't be choked because of that, because Nigeria is a net exporter and not an importer of crude. And it's just because they haven't, their Nigerian leadership don't think strategically. They use the excuse of whatever is happening outside of Nigeria to justify, the poor way they are leading Nigerians. And that's what it is. You have heard about global warming and global thing, food insecurity. There's no food shortage or insecurity in Nigeria. It's just that they haven't developed a system to preserve. You go to the market, your channel is about consumer issues. You go to the market and look at the waste, fresh produce that are wasted. If you bring in tomatoes from the north before it reaches Lagos, it has been on the road for maybe 2-3 days, and tomato is less than 24 hours in a tropical weather would have lost shrunk. Banana, yeah, vegetables, the things that are staple foods, also staple food for Nigeria, they get wasted. So now somebody will say, "Oh, climate change." It has nothing to do with climate change. It's just management. They haven't managed the process to make sure that at least a truck full of tomatoes or yam or plantain of it, that before it leaves the source of production to the market, at least you can retrieve 90%, and not where you are getting less than 30% benefit. So if that is the case, you're going to have hunger, you're going to have food insecurity, because a lot of it is wasted. So, these things are not very complicated. What is complicated here is people don't have the willingness and the commitment to do it. And I say, no, Nigeria should not be drawn into this drama. Nigeria should, we're going to self-preserve and we're going to protect. But now you see that everybody, because it's their justification, my mom used to tell me, a bad farmer will always blame the weather. Whether it's too cold or too hot, I can go. There's no perfect weather. There's no perfect anything. You just manage it. If people can live in Alaska, I'm sure you guys know about Alaska and Siberia, where they get less than 4 months of sunshine and still have a thriving economy, how come people in a tropical weather are not able to do it? Where you have sunshine, you have rain, you have you have soil that is still fertile for you to grow stuff. It's because, again, excuses. So Nigeria deal with the excuses, they don't deal with the reason. Because when you start dealing with the reason, then you can see where you are missing something, where you are lacking or lagging. And at that point is when you're going to say, okay, fine, so how do I make up this void? But no, everything is excuse. Oh, we are colonized. Oh, we are enslaved. Oh, the white man ain't going to let us do it. Oh, the Chinese are doing it. It's always somebody. Somebody's always responsible for something going bad in Nigeria. Just like when people die in Nigeria, they don't even do autopsy. They say, oh, this woman, na juju woman, we don't kill her. But nobody goes to go in and say, hey, what's that illness? Is it genetic? Is it something bad? Lifestyle? No. Excuse.
Now let's bring this in quickly. What role can African nations, most especially Nigeria and African Union, play in promoting peace despite being geographical distance from this conflict? Because in one way or the other, we are benefiting from, there.
Well, the sum of the parts is what is going to make the whole look strong. So when you talk about Africa, you're talking about 54 African countries, and which one is strong? Of all the continents in the world, is it not 7 continents? Who can you name one viable, vibrant African nation? Is this South Africa? The reason South Africa gave the attention it's gotten is because of what the white people did. It wasn't the black people that turned South Africa to what it is. I mean, now that the black people have taken over since 1992 or 1994 when Mandela became president, what have they added? So AU, ECOWAS, SEDAC, and CFA, all of those people, CFA, CAF, the Central African Republic, whatever they call themselves. What have they done? So the African people haven't produced any credible leader that has reputation on the global stage. When you see a white man, when you see an American president, you see a white brand. They have built a reputation, plus or minus on that brand. So where is the black brand? When you look at the president of Nigeria, who do you see? You don't see a Nigerian. You see a tribal man who happens to be the president of Nigeria. You don't see a Nigerian because they're going to let you know. They're going to let the world know, I'm Yoruba, I'm Igbo, I'm Hausa, I'm Shekiri, and this and this and that. That's what they project. And when you project tribal nature, you don't get attention. That's how the world civilization has worked. So Nigeria has to do a whole lot of internal searches and internal remaking in order for them to step out. And if they step out because of their size, if you know the expression, Nigeria is what the giant of Africa. But how big a giant is it? Just giant because of size, but it's not a giant because of quality. Because in Nigeria, a lot of things are not there. The basic infrastructure you need to live a good life is not there. You don't have water system, you don't have sewer system, you don't have good road network. Public safety is a challenge. For you to go from Lagos to about a distance of less than the distance of 80 miles or 80 kilometers, it takes you hours. So what is it that Nigeria, if you look at the 10 sectors of an economy, where is this shining example for Nigeria? You guys should be doing that sort of conversation. Name 10 sectors of an economy and where is Nigeria shining, based on the fact that they say they are smart people. Is it in banking? Is it in power delivery? Is it in civil construction work? If Nigeria needs a whole lot of physical things to be built, but who is building it? If a Lebanese man is building the coastal highway, the biggest public work contract to be given in the history of Nigeria, to a Lebanese man, what does it say about the capacity of Nigerians? Or is it because it's one of those transactions that whomever awarded the contract, in this case, Tinubu, there's a benefit to him, and Nigerians haven't said a word? How many Nigerian companies have gone to anywhere and built something like that? If you're going to give other people the opportunity to do things for you, are they giving you the same opportunity? By now, Nigerian construction companies owned by Nigerians, not supported by Lebanese, Indians, and Chinese, and all these other people, should be the one building Nigeria, not somebody from outside. Because going pouring concrete, grading it, and calling it a road complex can that be? It's not complicated. It's for a civil engineering student can do it. But what I'm just saying is that Nigeria needs a whole lot of look back internal searches in order to come and say, you know what, we have misled ourselves all these years. It has nothing to do with the tribal identity. We just have to become a nation and not a tribal entity.
Interesting.
People don't build such things.
All right, Mr. Ejike, because of the time that we have, it's limited, so we have to touch some very sensitive areas in just few minutes the last few minutes that we have on this program this morning. So from a security perspective, could a wider Middle East conflict create new global terrorism or extremism risk? Let's have your take on this for just few seconds.
Yeah, it creates it because, again, terrorism, what is terrorism? Then people leave their particular area. There's no longer a formal war where soldiers in uniform fighting each other. Then it becomes people, bad actors or state actors sponsored by their own government or by some organization who look like you and I, who will come in there and cause your harm. It used to be when you had a war, the soldiers, there's a boundary, there's a defined area. But now you don't know where the war is. Terrorism. Just like you have seen in Nigeria for the past how many years. People come in and they drop the bomb. Or people come in and they commit something. So it's no longer the uniformed people doing it. It's just people that, look like you and I. So yes, there's a fear for that. But, terrorist people will only find places that they find weak spots. And then they will take advantage of it. They've done it in America. Then we beefed up our securities, like especially, airplanes, because they saw that was a vulnerable way, boom, they took advantage. And then now you see how that led to changes. So bad things have always led to changes in the way you look at things. That's why we have camera systems now. Even like, in my home, if I'm not here, through my phone, I can monitor who comes around my house, and then I can call the police or say, "Who are you?" and all kind of stuff. That's what insecurity has led to us. Most places are not. There's no safe places. Maybe in I don't know, North Korea, China, I don't even know, or Norway or something. But then you're always going to be on the alert. So yes, the Middle Eastern thing is going to enhances terrorism, because there are people who are angry, and then they're going to come to America and they want to attack America. But they cannot attack America on a military basis, though they use these other ways to inflict injury, but they're not going to succeed, because we know their game, and to be forewarned is to be forearmed. That's why we have our defenses. Our defense budget is the biggest in the world. No other country has much money as we have to defend ourselves as America. Because public safety, or sense of it, is crucial for investment. If people don't feel safe where they are, they're not going to invest. So in case of Nigeria, you could see that. Who is investing in Nigeria? If people are not, people don't feel safe. Nigerians don't even want to invest in their own country.
All right, Mr. AGK, we have to let you go this beautiful morning. But before we let you go, finally, in just 1 second, I want you to be brief about this. If diplomacy does prevail, what lesson should world leaders learn from this crisis to reduce the likelihood of future regional conflict? In just 2 seconds, please.
Say that again. If what happens?
If diplomacy does prevail, what lesson should the
world
leaders
question?
Okay, the question is, if diplomacy does prevail, what lessons should world leaders learn from the crisis to reduce the likelihood of future regional conflicts?
Well, if diplomacy, prevails, and then people will go and look at it. Okay, what did they do and what did they say that made everybody agree to do something? That's the benefit. Then does it mean you can copy that and go do it somewhere else? Not necessarily. You just say, "Oh, okay, this is how they did it." But would it happen in my own case? Again, use the example of Chinelo and Tunde, marriage. If it succeeds for them, does it mean Nwankwo and Ngozi is going to succeed for them? Those things is not a cookie cutter. It's not an imposition. You can't just take this and do that. You just say, "Oh, okay, that's what they did. Hopefully, it will work for me." So that's what happens. You are always going to be learning. Nation building and leadership is not one time. You are constantly, being tested. It is the test of leadership that really matters, as opposed to just being in office. What are you going to change? How are you going to change it? Are you going to change it by introducing new law, or are you going to enforce the law that is on the books? Sometimes those are the calls that needs to be made. And once you do that, you have to constantly on your toes. It's 24/7, 365 days. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. It's not like you got a degree, you shut it down. No, you keep learning, and you keep changing, and you keep adapting, you keep readapting, you keep even walking away from things in the past that you thought worked well. There were things I was doing when I was in Nigeria. I thought I was on top of it. And then I came to America and said, "Oh, drop that. It doesn't work here." So that's what the human being needs to do. The geography of your existence dictates certain things you do, but that certain things you do, you have to do it by comparing and contrasting. If you're not comparing and contrasting in life, you're not going to do better. They'll say, "Hey, this didn't work for me, and then it's not working for us." They'll change it. But when you get caught up on this, our tradition, this is how we've been doing it, and then you get stuck in it. And that's oftentimes the biggest thing about the Black people, or Nigerians to be exact. They get caught up in our tradition. This is how we've been doing it and doing it and doing it. They're fine. This is how you've been doing it. How you have been doing it hasn't given you a better lifestyle. You just get stuck. It's proven. And that's what diplomacy is going to be new and improved.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the program this beautiful morning, Mr. Ejikiopa. We hope to see you on more editions to come. Have a productive month of August and have a fruitful week.
You too, sir, and good luck to you for what you guys do.
Thank you for joining us once again. Bye.
Bye.
And that was our guest, Mr. Ejikiopa, is a global affair analyst, joining us on the conversation about the Middle East at a crossroad. Can diplomacy prevent a wider regional war? Because this issue happening right there, we thought it has subsided, but now it's escalating and the fight is becoming, more and more. And the Middle East remains one of the world's most strategically significant regions, and development there continue to influence economies, diplomacy, and security across continent. While the military actions may dominate the headlines, history has shown that a lasting peace is most often achieved Good morning. Thank you for joining us on ConsumerHallaTV News at 10. I am Ivri Ayomikole Eke. We begin the news right now with the federal government. A new report says the federal government has commenced training of about 4,000 tractor operators under a national agricultural mechanization project. And this agricultural mechanization project is to boost the food security. However, the AGCOMS International Trading Limited announced in a statement yesterday that the nationwide program is coordinated by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, National Agricultural Development Fund, and Industrial Training Fund. The first batch of 250 trainees began a 2-week residential training courses at CSS farms in Nasarawa State. They will learn to operate and maintain modern John degree equipment under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu renewed Hope agenda, which speaks to transform agriculture and create jobs for Nigerian youth. Agriculture and Food Security Minister Abubakar Kyari stated that the initiative demonstrates a strong commitment toward expanding the local food production through mechanization. He stressed that deploying 4,000 well-trained operators will effectively turn the national farm equipment investment into a sustainable harvest while powering the modern agricultural growth nationwide. Meanwhile, the federal government is working towards ending the raw crude oil export as Nigeria expands domestic refining capacity to become an African energy hub. The chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Rabi Umar, disclosed the plan yesterday at a petroleum conference in Lagos State. He explained that expanding the local refining capacity means the country should process its entire crude production internally rather than exporting the raw commodities. He noted that new private and modular refineries are transforming Nigeria from a crude exporter into a regional processing center, handling the targeted output of about 3 million barrels daily. The regulatory authority is collaborating with the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission to enforce domestic crude supply obligations. Mr. Elmar emphasized that maintaining operational balance through the enforced supply obligations support local refiners and eliminate any economic reason to export raw crude oil when adequate domestic refining capacity exists across the country. And now the National Economic Council yesterday approved refinancing of the $3.3 billion Project Gazelle facility through a new $4.5 billion arrangement named Project Gazelle to Vice President. Meanwhile, the Vice President Kashim Shettima shared the virtual meeting where Finance Minister Taiwo Oyedele presented details of the financial deal. The approvals enables the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to settle an outstanding balance of $1.5 billion while unlocking $3 billion in liquidity. The Senior Special Assistant Stanley Umokocha confirmed that Council members supported the move to boost the external reserves and fund the vital national infrastructure priorities. Finance Minister Oyedele explained that the refinancing structures secure a significant and also favorable commercial terms, and it will reduce the pledge of crude oil from 90,000 barrels daily to 78,700.
Or they say the fuel or the fuel or this way that they use is cost, so they no go allow them to put the make it freeze well. So the challenges there plenty.
As these challenges persist, more entrepreneurs are investing in modern meat processing facilities, adopting structured systems aimed at improving food safety, hygiene, quality assurance, and consumer confidence.
The process, we have good butchers, they slaughter the cow in the Allah way. There's what they call Allah standard. You can't just process meat and you can't just kill a livestock anyhow. It has to be done in the Allah way. And after the slaughter in the Allah way, they drain the blood. There is this machine that they will hang the cow. They will press. It will take the cow up. The blood will be drained before they even open. So these are safety measures.
While modern meat retailers argue that traceability and controlled processing enhance consumer trust, traditional sellers continue to grapple with inadequate infrastructure and rising operating costs. Despite these challenges, both remain focused on meeting consumers' demand and staying competitive in changing the market. Elizabeth Eze, reporting for ConsumerHallaTV.
Thank you, Elizabeth Eze. Away from that report, Nigeria private sector sustained economic growth in July as purchase price inflation slowed to its lowest rate in 5 months. The latest Purchasing Managers Index released by Stanbic Advocacy Bank and S&P Global showed the headline index got declined to 52.5 from 53.4. Despite recording a slower rate of expansion, business activity remained above the 50-point benchmark for the 6th consecutive month. Strong customer demand, competitive pricing, and new product offering drove robust growth in new orders, with agriculture and manufacturing sectors leading the total output gains across the national economy. Companies expanded their workforce numbers and raw materials inventories to manage operational requirements through employment growth eased slightly. The slower increases in the input cost and selling prices provided economic relief to commercial enterprises, with supplier delivery times as it improved despite minor logistical bottlenecks, delaying the certain project across various business sectors. The Central Bank of Nigeria is establishing a unified regulatory framework to bring the fast-growing cryptocurrency and virtual asset market under the formal oversight. The shift follows the introduction of the Presidential Executive Order on Virtual Asset Coordination 2026, establishing structured supervision across financial market. Officials announced at the Nigeria Stablecoin Summit in Lagos that the Central Bank Revenue Service and Security Commission are collaborating to create a predictable business environment. Tax Controller Oni Olushola stated that the government policy shifted from restriction to regulation to protect consumers and capture economic value from digital asset operations. The new executive order establishes a virtual asset council chaired by the Central Bank of Nigeria to harmonize regulatory enforcement. Mr. Olushola emphasized that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu created the mechanism to resolve fragmented agency oversight, streamlining the compliance for virtual asset service providers, cryptocurrency exchanges, and stablecoin operators within the country. The World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has urged Nigerians to prioritize effective project execution and asset maintenance over simple budget allocations. Speaking yesterday at the Delta State Economic Summit in Asaba, the former finance minister stressed that public spending alone cannot guarantee a sustainable economic development. She criticized the nation's weak maintenance culture, emphasizing that preserving existing infrastructure is just as critical as constructing new projects. She identified the port efficiency, digital infrastructure, and reduced trade costs as key areas requiring focused implementation and long-term operational management to enhance the overall national economic competitiveness. Acknowledging the recent macroeconomic development, the trade chief praised federal effort to stabilize the foreign exchange rate and curb inflation. She noted that sustained national economic stability will strengthen the state development opportunities, provided the local government matched the federal reforms with disciplined execution and proper asset preservation and clear industrial priority. Well, moving away from there, let's talk about electricity. In a new development, Nigeria electricity metering rate got improved to 59.69% in April 2026, up from 57.93%. Data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission showed distribution companies added 349,357 meters. The total metered electricity consumer rose from 7.09 million in January to 7.44 million in April. The regulatory fact sheet published on Monday revealed that distribution utilities deployed over 227,000 meters during March and April alone, with steady closing at the national metering gap. Despite recent installation progress, more than 5 million active electricity customers remain without prepared meters as of April 2026. The regulatory authorities and distribution companies continue to expand the metering schemes across regional networks to eliminate the estimated billing, improve billing transparency, and enhance the overall cash collection across the power sector. Nigeria petrol consumption declined by 52 million litres during the first 6 months of 2026 as elevated retail pump prices moderated fuel demand. The data from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority showed total domestic consumption fell by 0.56% to 9.316 billion litres. The moderation in fuel demand followed fuel sector deregulation and subsidy removal, which drove pump prices significantly higher. Regulatory figures indicated average June retail prices range from 1,284 naira per litre in Lagos to 1,393 naira in Maiduguri at filling stations. The monthly figures showed average daily consumption dropped from 60.2 million litres in January to 47.4 million litres in June. And consumption slowed despite expanded local refining capacity, and it indicated that higher retail costs have altered consumer driving habit and reduced the overall domestic fuel usage across the country. The 7 key members of the OPEC Plus alliance agreed during an online meeting on Sunday over the weekend to increase oil production target by 188,000 barrels per day starting in September. Saudi Arabia, Russia, and partner nations issued a joint statement confirming the output adjustment aimed regional disruptions. Rice-stated energy analyst George Leon noted that the target increase was widely expected as the cartel completes the unwind voluntary cut. However, he warned that ongoing shipping constraints in the Strait of Hormuz limit the immediate market impact, starting the real supply shift as it will only occur when normal maritime export flow resume through the Gulf. The UBS analyst Giovanni Stanovo observed that raising production targets may have limited effect since several member countries face declined capacity and cannot meet quotas. Consequently, physical supply increases may fall short of target, leaving the group to manage emerging global surplus once regional shipping channels fully normalize. Thank you for joining us on ConsumerHallaTV News at 10. I am Iri Ayomikoli, aka Good morning.
Hi people, my name is Mo Fakorede and I am a filmmaker and a film director, and you're watching ConsumerHallaTV. ConsumerHallaTV is everything consumer advocacy, consumer rights, everything that has to do with consumers on this TV. You'd watch, you'd learn, you'd be educated, and you'd be entertained. Keep watching ConsumerHalla TV.
My name is Olubukola Ozone, a photographer and a social media enthusiast. You're watching ConsumerHalla TV. It's a consumer advocacy TV. If you have a problem, anything, any consumer related problem, just holla at them, just like their name implies, and they're going to get it sorted for you. Keep watching, stay tuned. Thank you very much.
Hi guys, my name is Joba Jalabi. I'm a marketing communications professional. I currently lead marketing at Flash Change, a fintech startup. Keep watching ConsumerHalla TV, a consumer advocacy channel.
Hello, my name is Sharon Rotimi. I'm an actor and I am on ConsumerHalla TV. Now, ConsumerHalla TV is a consumer advocacy channel. So if you have any issues, consumer-related issues with brands and services, you can reach out to them and they will be sure to handle it or to cater to you. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, my name is Iyebiye Adeton. I'm a film poster designer and illustrator. This is ConsumerHalla TV. It's a consumer advocacy channel. We show content on consumers-based news, entertainment, and all of that. So I urge you guys to stay tuned to ConsumerHalla TV.
My name is Anoluwapo Alao, a sales consultant for Star Times Nigeria. This is a ConsumerHalla TV, where they discuss anything consumer needs and get knowledge about anything about consumer. So keep watching it.
Hi, my name is Adebola Ogushino. I'm a filmmaker and you're watching ConsumerHalla TV. Any consumer related issues, they've got you.
Hi, my name is Stephen Olorunshisi. I'm a strategy and sales professional, currently working with Obey, and you're watching ConsumerHalla TV. I mean, this is one of the channels that you don't want to but stay on. Consumer advocacy, brand promotion, everything consumer, what you need to learn for your business to grow. This is a channel where you learn, where you experience entertainment too, yeah. But it's good for businesses, for brands, and for an entrepreneur. If you want to know more about businesses, want to know more about brands, please stay watching. Alright, thank you so much, ConsumerHalla TV. Keep watching.
Hello, good day. My name is Tunde Balogun. I'm the lead pastor at the Kingsborough Church in London. And you're watching ConsumerHalla TV, which is a new initiation into the TV industry in Nigeria, the first of its kind in Nigeria. And I know that it's going to bring value and quality into the service industry. ConsumerHalla TV is here to offer value to service industry and to give a voice to consumers, bring awareness to the brand industry, and also bring education to what it is to have quality for what you paid for. I know that through ConsumerHalla TV, you are going to be able to get what you have paid for quality-wise and also give a voice to you in wherever it is that you do. I am here to support and give a shout out to say that keep watching ConsumerHalla TV and we'll have a better quality for value in Nigeria and in the global space. Please continue to watch ConsumerHalla TV because it is here to make things work better for you. It is on this note that I would like to say a big congratulations to the chairman and CEO of ConsumerHalla TV, Pastor Tunde Olufowora, and all the staffs of this great organization. Thank you for what you do. You are making things happen for us, and I pray that God bless you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Toyin Balogun. I'm here to give a shout out to ConsumerHalla TV, #1 platform helping you to shop smart, spend wisely, and live better. Anytime you have any kind of issues with your shopping, or you want to know a very honest review, please contact ConsumerHalla TV, here to help you. And please join the community where we can all make life easy and better for all of us.
Hey there, do you know in the world today, everyone is a consumer. And as consumers, we all have the right to be heard.
In Nigeria today, as a consumer, you have all right to product information, right to fair pricing, right to return goods, right to product labeling, right to fair dealings, and a lot more.
Well then, have you heard about the new media channel?
ConsumerHalla TV.
ConsumerHallaTV.
ConsumerHalla TV.
At ConsumerHalla TV, our goal is to inform and educate consumers in Nigeria with insightful news alongside development within the fast-paced world of consumers through well-researched, specialized, and analytical content.
Our vision at ConsumerHalla TV is to create an engaging platform that provides right connections for meaningful brands in Nigeria, thus creating a more caring world for consumers where business thrives.
And guess what? Our ConsumerHalla brand is the first consumer complaint resolution portal in Nigeria, powered by a 72-hour feedback mechanism. We offer consumer advocacy, informative talk shows, branding promotions, advertising, and lots more. Connect with us via our YouTube channel at ConsumerHalla TV. Follow us on our Facebook page, ConsumerHalla TV, our Instagram page, ConsumerHalla TV, and do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscription is free. ConsumerHalla TV. At ConsumerHalla TV, you deserve to be heard. At ConsumerHalla TV, you deserve to be heard.
Hello consumers, based on the recent weather, many Nigerians now make use of insecticide products as part of their daily routine just to keep mosquitoes under check. And now, with several brands of insecticide that we have available in the market, consumers do have a choice. As we always say, this is Consumer Voice on ConsumerHalla TV, where consumers genuinely tell us the brand they use and why they prefer this particular brand without omitting anything. They get to speak for themselves, they get to tell us how they feel, they get to express themselves. And on today's edition, we'll be asking consumers which insecticide brand do they make use of and why do they think it is necessary they are going for this brand and why it is necessary to use this brand. I am Elizabeth Abefe and you're watching Consumer Voice on ConsumerHalla TV. Come with me as we go find out from consumers. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so what is your name, sir?
I'm Ola.
Ola what?
Ola Shobulo.
Ola Shobulo. Now, do you make use of insecticide at home?
Yeah, I do.
Which brand?
I'm using DD Force.
DD Force.
Yeah.
How do you get to know about this brand?
Yeah, it was one of my friends that introduced it to me because I've been using some insecticide and they're not working well. So he decided to ask me to go on DD Force.
So apart from DD Force, which other insecticides have you tried using?
Yeah, I've used Rambo and Mobi product. But I guess it's not active the way I want it on those cockroaches and all that. So.
Okay. Now, how much do you get your DD Force for?
You said how much I get?
Yeah, how much do you get it? How much?
DD Force is 10K.
So how often does it last?
Yeah, because I mix it with like kerosene, so I use it for over a month. Like 2 months.
Okay, so how active does it work? How is the performance of the insecticide?
Very, very active. Very, very.
So I want you to rate this insecticide brand over 10 based on your experience. How well will you rate it over 10?
Actually, if they ask me to rate it, I'll say 100.
100?
Yeah.
Over 10? That means it broke your scale.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like them to do better?
If I would like them to do any other thing, I would tell them they should improve more so that they can gain more attraction to the product.
So the weather is very cold, and because of that, a lot of insecticide, a lot of insects like mosquitoes and fly around majorly during this period. How do you protect yourself?
Do we have a way we protect ourselves in Nigeria? The only thing we do is to make sure we flit our rooms before going to bed. So 2-3 hours later before going to bed, and I think that's the best because without that you have a mosquito bite.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah,
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You look good.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Oroluwa.
Oroluwa what?
Adetula. Oroluwa Adetula.
Okay, now do you make use of insecticide?
Yes, I do, but not very often. Like when the need arises, yes, I definitely use.
So which brand do you go for?
Is it bad that I don't know the brand names? Okay, I just know that there's one that is white and there's one that is green. Those are the major ones that we use.
So how do you get to know about this brand?
I just picked it up with what my family has been using, so I just followed them. I've never tried anyone for myself, per se, as it were.
Okay, now you know this weather is very cold and it's an avenue for mosquitoes to come around and all of that. Yeah. How do you protect yourself?
I close my windows. That's the best thing I do. I close my windows, and if the mosquitoes get like really a lot, I try to make sure that I have at least insecticide. And then there is coil. It's a bit traditional. I try to use that as well.
So what do you look out for whenever you want to get an insecticide? What?
This is an interesting, because I've never thought about this before. Right, but what I know, does it work? Right, that's like the most important one, because there is no point of buying a brand and it doesn't give me the value of what I want. Right, so it has to get rid of all the mosquitoes.
Now, talking about does it work? Has there been a time whereby you switch from a particular brand to the other?
Yeah, multiple times. I'm very sorry, I don't know.
Ask you don't know the brand.
I know the color. There was one that was yellow with white cover and never worked. But it smelled nice. But it didn't do the job. So yeah.
Okay, now if you had to rate the insecticide you've been using over 10 based on your experience with them, how will you rate them?
I do a 5, because most of the time I have to add like a supplement. You get, like, I have to do like a coil somewhere. I have to make sure that everything is closed. I even recently tried, there's one that is even electric that is red. I've forgotten what they call it. Right, you plug that as well. So I have like multiple that I try, but if it works, I should only have to use one. Do you get? So that's how I'll give.
I know you've said a lot of things, but if there's anything you like the brand or any insecticide company to do better, what advice will you give to them?
Make it work better. That's all. The mosquitoes in Nigeria are resilient. So please, as much as possible, to ensure that I don't have to look for supplements, right? I can just use an insecticide and then it gets the job done. But the green one, the one that is green, it works. I've forgotten what the name is. That's just the body cover. Is green. The body is green. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And it's an avenue for you to know your brand. Very important. In case you are being stopped, you need to know your brand.
I will do my best. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You have a lovely smile.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is your name?
Facial.
Facial what?
Only facial.
Only facial. Now, do you make yourself insecticide at home?
Yeah, I do.
What do you use them for?
Cockroach, basically.
How often do you use it?
Once in a while.
Okay, now which brand do you use?
Green Leaf is a sachet.
How do you get to know about this brand?
I don't know. I just got to know about it and I started